and he goes up to her and he says something in French. And then she spits the soda in his face.
I remember that.
That's who she looks like.
Yeah, looking at her photograph, you're absolutely right.
She's beautiful.
Okay, McKEY, are you there?
I am. Hello.
Hello. Welcome to the show, sweetie.
Oh, thank you very much for having me.
You're quite welcome, and we have your good buddy Jeff on the other line. You can say hello if you would like.
Hey, girl.
Hey, Jeff. How are you?
Hey, hanging in there. You know us, busy.
Yeah, and Jeff was just explaining about the event that he is doing here on the 27th in Riverside and about all of his filming. Now, about Vietnam and about the doctors and the dentists that go over there and help all of the children and the families. Now, weren't you involved in that?
Actually, I am getting involved in it as I'm going to be doing some of the voiceover work and hosting for it. In the future, I would love to be more involved in the program, but I'm kind of coming in at post facto on this one and really getting a good look at what these guys have been doing and all the good that they've been doing around the world. And I think it's amazing. I am so happy to be a part of this, and I would love to be more active in it in the future.
Well, Jeff, can she do that?
I think so. I mean, you know, the positive thing about McKEY is one of the things that I knew that I needed for this documentary was somebody else in the professional industry with a voice, not just anyone, but caring, someone with a connection to kind of what this Good Samaritan medical team does, and why we kind of looked at her and said, let's go after her. Is because of her good-natured, her morale, and she's actually going in, and I'll let her tell you about this, but she's going in as a pre-med student, which is right up the alley from what these people do. So why not put somebody like that in there to speak on behalf of this organization? And she's perfect for it.
Well, I have to agree 100% because McKEY and we talked on the phone before I came into the station, and I got to know her a little bit better after reading all of the history, and thank you for, getting me all this information. And I think that would be a fabulous idea.
Yeah, she's going to be fantastic. And I to be honest with you, I actually met her through her fiancé, which is MMA UFC fighter Sam Alvey. Who is probably the most tender-hearted tiger that you'll ever meet, and I think McKEY can attest to this. This guy is just got as big a heart as she does, and they're just great people.
Well, that is fantastic. And also, before we go on talking to the two of you together, now on the 25th of October, we have another gathering over at the Crescent Jewels in Riverside with Jesse J and his collection and the models and the runway and all of that. And if the two of you are available, come on down.
I would, I'm going to have to check into that. I know you had run that by me here a while back. I don't know. I think that's your last day in California, isn't it, McKEY?
It is. I have to go back to school.
Oh, you want to play hooky?
I do so badly. Who's going to go and take my test for me? I mean, if you've got somebody, I'd love to.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm not going to go near it because I know what you're doing in med school, and we had a little discussion about that and the blood and everything else. No. No, and also, McKEY, while we got you, there is one lady here that really, really wants to talk to you. Her name is Christina, and she is my liaison. And her and I and Elaine, I don't know if you watch the program or not, but we are big fans of your show, America's Next Top Model.
Well, I'm excited because I didn't know till I came on today that we were going to have you on the show. I actually watched the 11th episode, and I watched you, and being as I'm into fashion and hair, I have to ask you, do you still have your hair short? That was huge. I remember your long red hair, and I believe it was like kind of wavy, curly, and then they took you and did it short and just really hip and black and trendy. Do you still have it short?
I do have it short, but it is changing colors like you would not believe. It seems every single time I get my hair back to a decent color and I like it, somebody calls me up and says, hey, we're going to change it. So right now I have white hair.
You have white hair?
I do. It's pretty granny fabulous.
Okay.
Yeah, well, she did great throughout the show, and you are just smashing looking anyway. But I have to ask you, do you always still, like, you probably learned, I know you learned a lot about fashion, about yourself, because it's more than just the clothes. They teach you a lot about self-confidence, and is that correct? And how to put yourself out there. But yeah, I just thought you did an amazing job, and I'm so excited to meet you over the airlines. Airwaves.
I get what you're saying.
I know Eric knows I say the funniest things, but
yeah, we'll be flying Alaska Airlines and going back to Seattle.
So do you still dress all fashion-y when you go out and about, or just put on the jeans and go?
I love fashion, but I've always been the type that I say that I'm Ren Fair chic, where I just collect stuff from every single era, and I love bringing it back. I love going vintage shopping and mixing it with new things because fashion is cyclic. You know, it's always coming back from way back when and just being modernized slightly. And so I guess I'm always putting on something fun and wearing it out, whether or not everybody else thinks it's fashionable or not, who knows. But I get compliments, so I'll take it.
Well,
and who cares what they think? If you're happy, there you go, right?
We've actually had a lot of fashion people on this show, fashion experts, if you will, or fashion designers, and most of them just say that's what you need to do. You need to put on what makes you feel good and just go out there. Just, you know, and most of the time when I turn my head to look at something, like maybe they have on a red top and a bright yellow hat and purple shoes, I'll take a second look, but I'm like, wow, you know, that's cool. So I think to be yourself, there's very few things in the world we have a lot of control over, and that's something we do have control over, our hair and our clothes and just having fun with our life and just showing who we are each day by what we put on or how we feel.
Is it hard? Is it hard being 6 foot tall, finding clothes? Because I'm 6 foot tall too, and actually the dress I had on I made, and I had to add like 6 inches to the waist to get it to fit me right.
Oh my gosh! Well, congrats on being a tall girl. Tall girls rock.
Yeah, well, they do.
Aren't you 6 foot tall too?
I am. I'm 6 1/4, but don't tell anybody because my com card says I'm 5'11".
Oh, okay.
Okay, we won't tell nobody. We promise.
We need to get her to connect with. I would love to get her introduced to Jesse before she flies back east again. I think that him being one of the more popular rising young fashion guys out there today in downtown Hollywood there, and all the work that he's been doing on The Voice and the Emmys and all that, I think that they could connect really well. But I would love to try and hook them up before she leaves town.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
He would love it.
Yes.
Yeah, sounds great.
He's a great guy. He'd love it, and he'd love to probably dress you, I'm sure.
He does. And one thing I liked about Jesse is when we had the last fashion show, they weren't all very tall like you all are. Some of them were a little short like I am, and that made me feel a whole lot comfortable. You know, it really did. Because after a while, you're standing there and your neck is leaning up for you could look at these ladies. And when everybody sat down, I'm going, oh, that's good, one-on-one, you know. And their range of heights and sizes and colors, he goes straight across the board all the way around. So and that's what's making him.
So his fashions fit a wide range of women.
Yes. Yes.
That's
in all ages. Yeah.
That's important because that's how people come.
Well, and everybody wants to look good. I mean, everybody, doesn't matter, you know, what size you are, what height you are. Everybody has something inside of them they want to bring out and want to be able to express themselves. And I think that he's really open to that, which makes it even more fun to work with him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and fit, that he has clothes that would fit all those different kinds of shapes. I'm impressed with that.
Yes. And, Jeff, you were going to say something there?
You know, I've actually filmed, we're doing a reality show of everything that he has going on right now, actually, and I've been shooting some pilot episodes for it, but it's fun following him around. I mean, the whole fashion world and all that was something that I was never involved in, or I don't know that I really care for it or not, but it's been so fun kind of, jogging around and following him and seeing everything that he goes through, the concept, the design. Jesse, I even, wound up meeting him through Marsha Feinberg, actually, and I wound up bringing him on to set dress and or costume design my next feature film that we're going to be shooting early next year. So, he's starting to grow, and getting him with McKEY and all the other right people, I think that you guys' core for fashion is really happening right now, especially your whole fashion night out right there in Riverside. There's a lot of neat things that are happening.
It is, and now since the holidays are coming, there are going to be more events, more of these fashion shows and what have you. And Christina and I are going to keep everybody informed step by step. We're out there like a bunch of little thieves running from store to store getting all this information and having a lot of fun with it. But the one thing that I wanted to get back, now Jess, stay right there for a second, okay? McKEY, one thing I did want to ask you, and the ladies wanted to ask you, when you became America's top model, and then from there you went to the medical field, what made you decide to get into the medical field?
Well, ultimately, I think what it is I had goals and ambitions before I became a model, and modeling has been wonderful. It has been a break from, reality, kind of, if you will. And ultimately, any young girl who gets into modeling finds this out sooner or later. It is not a lifelong career. You are aging every single day, and every second counts. And me being 24, a lot of my coworkers are 14, 15 years old, and so I really feel the strain. And I want to be prepared, and I urge all the other young girls that I work with to be prepared for the next step in life, because when it's all over, you want to have something there waiting for you. You don't want to have to try and figure out at 30 what you're going to do with the rest of your life, because even if you do make enough money, who really wants to sit around for the next 20 years doing nothing?
Not me.
Not us.
Yeah,
yes.
That's not in us.
Yeah, that's so true, huh? And Eric's saying, I will.
He'll be a kept man.
Yeah. And so I wanted to ask you that. And now, before we have to say goodbye to both of you, because these lights are going to start flashing up, Jeff, what is the one thing you want everybody to know?
I want everybody to try to come out and support the Good Samaritan Medical Dental Ministry next Saturday, the 27th, and come out to this dinner, this fundraiser, and it will change your life. You don't have to go to Vietnam, to witness what these people are doing. You can see it right here, and you can make a difference and donate to their cause. The whole reason that I did this documentary was, because it was such a compelling story, but yet on the other hand, it's also helping generate a buzz to this organization. We're one of the largest, in the United States that go over there, and try and bring humanitarian aid. And they do a darn good job of it. From where they started at, 13 years ago and where they're at today, it's a night and day difference. It's amazing. There's a massive amount of people that go, and everybody has a great time, and it's such a caring group. But you can go and buy tickets online to this event. I believe they're $40 for adults, and I think they're $25 for children 13 years and under. And you can get those at www.gsmedicalministry.org. That's gsmedicalministry.org. And you can also visit facebook.com/Don't Give Up the Movie. And that's where you'll find the actual information as far as the preview for the film. And hopefully we can see everybody out there to drum up some interest on this. It's such a great cause.
And the correct